Oh.
My weak foot is awful, but in 30 days time, it's gonna be amazing. As I'm gonna spend the next month training just my left foot to see how much improvement I can really make. But before I can start training, I need to see how good my weak foot is at the start of the month. And for this, I've got 5 tests: accuracy, power, dribbling, control, and comfort. I'm gonna do these 5 tests today and repeat them in 30 days time to see how much improvement I make, if any. First up, the accuracy test. I'm gonna have 20 shots aiming for this basket. I'll take them from the edge of the box. Let's see how many I can get in.
This is gonna show the levels and why I'm doing this challenge. Oh. Ah.
So, like 90% of the population, my left foot is my weak foot. But I'm hoping in 30 days time, you won't be able to tell the difference, because these attempts are terrible.
Oh. Right, last attempt at hitting the target. I need to get this in, just to get one. Oh.
So yeah, this just shows exactly why I'm doing this challenge. 0 out of 20 on the accuracy test. And this was the heat map of the shots. Not great. I'll compare this heat map in 30 days time to see how much difference there really is. Next up is the control test.
Right, 5 attempts to control this ball, only using my weak foot. Let's go. Ah. I'll take that. Ah. Ah. Little touch. Oh.
So 2 out of 5 on our control test, and there was actually a few really good touches in there. I can see there's potential, but next up we have the shot power test. I'm going to take 3 shots with this ball that measures shot speed, and the hardest shot will be the score to beat in 30 days time.
Oh, that felt very awkward. That was 44 miles per hour. Oh, that was a bit better. 44 miles per hour again. Oh. So it was actually a decent strike, but it came to 50 miles per hour. So that's our target to beat in 30 days time.
So not a bad score there. I'm super interested to see how hard I can strike the ball a month from now. Next up is the dribbling test. This is a time test on how long it takes me to maneuver through these cones. Obviously only using my weak foot.
There we go.
So my time to beat 30 days from now is 14.5 seconds. And next up is our final test.
Right, and finally, how comfortable do I feel with my weak foot on a scale of 1 to 10? And I can definitely say that after doing these tests, the dribbling, the shooting, I probably feel 3 out of 10 comfortable with the weak foot. So we'll see how I feel in a month's time.
So these are the results from day 1, and I'll be back in 4 weeks' time to see how much difference there really is. I'm expecting big things.
Right, so this is my first session training my weak foot, and yeah, the things I'm hoping to achieve from this month are basically just get my left foot as close as possible to my right foot and just feel a lot more comfortable, be able to strike the ball cleanly, and yeah, just basically improve my left foot as much as possible. Now I feel like my left leg is going to take an absolute battering over this next month, so I've got to make sure I warm it up properly every time.
Now, I didn't want to go into my first training session and suddenly start smashing shots, so I started off by doing some dribbling and kick-ups, just trying to feel more comfortable with my weak foot.
Also, shout out to a YouTuber called Simon Maxwell. I saw him do this challenge and it inspired me to try it myself. Now I'm just going to try and get the shooting technique down with a weak foot pretty much. Just try and get somewhat comfortable with it. So, wow. Oh man. Strike through the ball.
So as you can see, this was not going to be easy. The shots were very, very bad, and I just felt really awkward. If we look at this footage comparing shots with my right and left foot, when I strike with my strong foot, I go through the ball, but my weak foot is just really awkward. I don't seem to know what to do after I've actually hit the ball. The run-up also feels really weird. Let's just say it needs a lot of work. Over the next few days, I just tried to get as comfortable as possible using my left foot. I was practicing dribbling, keep-ups, and doing passes against a fence. I even tried just having the ball at my feet when I was at home. And then on day 4, it was time for another shooting session.
Right, back out at the pitch. Today's session is all about shooting. I'm just going to try and get as comfortable as possible, kicking the ball and striking it with my weak foot. Oh, man. Oh. Right, I'm going to try and follow through on this one and just really strike through it because I'm kind of stopping.
Now somehow on this session, my shots seem to actually get worse.
Right, I'm going to attempt to whip some shots into this side netting, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen too well. Oh man, oh my days.
So no real signs of improvement on my shooting just yet. And for the final session of week 1, it was more dribbling and shooting, just trying to get more comfortable with that weak foot. Now week 2 is titled Signs of Hope. As later on you'll see I had a shooting session that basically changed everything, but my first session of week 2 was focused on dribbling. To finish off the session, I practiced some keep-ups and of course had to hit the crossbar. I spent the next few sessions focusing on dribbling and passing, and I was starting to feel a lot more comfortable with that. On day 10, I practiced my control and I started to see some decent improvements. But my shooting was still pretty awful. I've booked a shooting session in with a pro keeper for my final week, but as my previous shooting sessions were absolutely terrible, I really needed to get back out on the pitch and start making some improvements. As by week 4, I want to be able to actually score past a pro. And luckily for me, on day 12, my shooting technique finally started to click.
What a goal. Right, so I'm back out at the pitch again today, and I think in this session, I want to work on curve. Oh, is the training starting to pay off? Oh my God.
So on this session, my shots seemed to be a lot better and I felt a lot more comfortable striking the ball. So with my shooting technique finally starting to improve, by day 13 I was starting to get pretty comfortable at controlling the ball with my weak foot, and I was even able to juggle the ball pretty comfortably against the cage. But week 3 is where things really started to improve.
Right, week 3 now of training my weak foot, and I am feeling a lot more confident behind it. And in today's session, we've set up some proper free kicks. We're going to see how the weak foot gets on with that.
And my first shot of week 3 couldn't have gone any better.
All right, let's go. Free kicks with the weak foot. Oh my God. Am I like a beast with the left foot now? Let me try this. What's going on? Surely you can't do 2 in a row, can you? Oh, no.
So my first session of week 3 was going well, and my shooting technique was definitely feeling a lot better.
This is very, very encouraging signs, this. Last one of today, because my hip flexor is starting to hurt now. Can we end on a good one? Oh my days.
And the rest of week 3 was more of the same. Repetition, repetition, repetition. I also had to make sure I did a lot of stretching, because this much use of my left leg was starting to take its toll. But for my final session of week 3, I wanted to work on some more curve shots.
Oh, there we go.
Now, I went into my final week very happy. I felt like I'd made a lot of progress already, and week 4 was just about keeping the improvements coming. I had a session coming up with Connor O'Keefe on day 28, so I started off the week by practicing power shots. The next few days were spent just getting touches on the ball and mainly focusing on dribbling. I knew I had the final test coming up in just a few days. I wanted to make sure everything was as good as possible.
And now your girlfriend is ringing in my ears again. No sure shot, but she likes all my favorite.
But on day 28, it was time for my weak foot to come up against Connor O'Keefe.
I wish she'd come.
Big session today, mate. Big session.
So I started off with some penalties.
Oh no! That was a nice one.
That's a nice one. Oh, nice pen.
That was better.
And after performing well on those, I moved further back.
Oh,
Finish.
okay.
Oh, finish, Kieran. That was a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Now, I was very happy with how this session was going, and I definitely wouldn't have been able to score past Connor 4 weeks ago. And this final shot just shows the progression I've made.
Oh my God. Mate, this is insane, you know.
What a great goal. Love it, mate. Some lovely goals
Thank
in
you,
there.
mate. Thank you.
Good luck for the final test.
Thanks,
Go
mate.
smash it.
So on day 29, it was my final training session before I did the tests.
Right, so it's the final week now. And just to give you an idea of how much more comfortable I am with a weak foot, just look at this.
So as you can see, I was feeling super comfortable controlling the ball with my weak foot. I was even able to do 3 around the worlds in a row. And I spent the rest of day 29 practicing shooting. And just like that, 30 days of training were over.
Right, so this is it, the final day, the final test. A month of training comes down to this moment right here. Will I have improved? And if so, how much? This is going to be fun.
So I laced up my boots, did some stretches, had a few warm-up shots, and I was feeling ready. And I think this is a perfect time to compare my strike at the start of the month to now. You can see that on day 1 it's very awkward, but by day 30 it's a clean strike and I follow through the ball. And these are the shots side by side. So before we get into the test, just a quick reminder of our scores at the start of the month. Now let's get into our first test.
Right, first up, the accuracy test. 20 shots into that target in the top left. On day 1, I got 0 in the basket, and this was my heat map. So if we can do better than that, I'll be buzzing. Let's go, 20 shots. Man, I'm a bit nervous. All right, first shot. Get in. Oh. Get in. Yes, third shot. And we've got one in. Oh man, great start. Oh. Get in. Oh. Get in. Yes, there's 2.
So it was a great start to the accuracy test, and I was feeling very confident behind my left foot.
Right, 2 out of 10 so far. Let's get 3. Oh. This heat map's going to look nice as well.
And after a few more close shots, I was down to my final attempt.
Get in. Oh, that was a million times better than on day 1.
So 2 goals in the basket, and that's a great result for the accuracy test. And this is my final heat map. And you can see the shots are all pretty good, especially when compared to day 1. You can see the shots are just all round a lot closer together. Very, very happy with the improvements on that. Next up is the first touch test.
Right, first touch test. I got 2 out of 5 30 days ago. Let's see how we get on. What's he got? Boom. That was definitely an improvement. We'll take that.
And another big improvement there. But now we have the power shot test. And the results from this were a huge surprise. 50 miles per hour was what I hit on day 1. Let's see how we get on now.
That's got to be more than 50, surely. 64 miles per hour. I didn't expect it to be that much. 67 miles per hour. Honestly, I'd struggle to do that with my right foot.
So I was able to hit the ball 17 miles per hour faster than on day 1. That's actually insane. Another huge improvement. Next up, the dribble test.
Right, dribble test, 14.5 seconds to beat. Let's do it. 1, go.
Once again, I felt so much more comfortable dribbling the ball on day 30, and the results show that, completing the course in 11.8 seconds, almost 3 seconds quicker than on day 1.
Right, and the final test is comfort. How comfortable do I feel with my weak foot? And honestly, after 30 days training, I can definitely say my weak foot is about a 7 out of 10 comfortable.
So these are our final results, and you can see there's some huge improvements. And I can honestly say I feel so much more confident with my weak foot. And this experiment shows just how much you can improve in 30 days of dedicated training. And if you're serious about becoming a footballer, training your weak foot is one of the best things you can do.